I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Good morning, everybody. It's Blanche and I, Paul's on Zoom. We have on, we'll go ahead and get started on the Granite County Board of Health. I'll go ahead and chair it again, just let somebody else wants to do it.
You're in practice.
All right, so we'll go ahead and approve
You
of,
guys wanna come closer? Sorry,
approve the last meeting minutes.
so I can hear you. Okay, I'm sorry. But
If anybody, or could I get somebody to approve the minutes of the last meeting?
I'll make a motion to approve the minutes.
I'll second.
I'll second it.
Oh, okay.
Wow.
Who's saying that? Who seconded it?
I think that was Michelle.
Michelle, okay.
She's not,
All in
we didn't see
favor?
her face.
Oh.
Sorry, everyone. I'm traveling back from New York, but I'll be listening in.
She's okay. All in favor?
Aye.
All right, we'll go ahead. Chad,
All right, so yeah,
would you introduce yourself?
yes, sir. Yeah, so it's Chad Lannis, Tri-County Sanitarian. I'll give a kind of a brief report. It's been a strange winter. As we all know, our on-site septic and site evaluations never really slowed down this winter. You know, typically December, January, things slow down, it stops, and I get a period in the winter to be able to catch up on paperwork and to manage a bunch of things. And I was out in the field almost every week this winter doing site evaluations. I'm coming back over here Thursday. I'm looking at two raw lots with people and one replacement septic on Thursday. It's just, this winter was strange. It was never really got a chance to catch up on things. We did work on the certified installer renewals or final as-built and stuff. I didn't get that material compiled like I was hoping because it's just been crazy. And my secretary was out sick yesterday, so I was really hoping she was going to do that for me yesterday. She was sick, but we do have pretty much all of our certified installers have renewed. We give them that renewal period January, February. And we've even picked up some more certified installers, so we're pretty robust with the septic dirt contractors on the ground. It'll be interesting to see how the summer goes because I think a lot of this work that people had been doing even the last month or two is work that they typically be doing in April or May, and I don't know how that's going to affect everybody. You know, typically they're used to getting the winter off, and then come late spring, they really get going. But yeah, nobody can predict anything. So it'll be interesting to see how that affects both the amount of work that our contractors have and the construction, because we do have quite a few new construction going on right now. But again, with the kind of the state of the world, who knows what's going to happen with things. For now, there's things happening. So that's all I can say. We'll see where that goes. Through the winter, Mark's been busy doing mobile food unit reviews, the inspections. He catches up with a lot of the inspections in the winter. A lot of people still getting into cottage food businesses and selling meat, eggs, and milk to the public as they can with better access to local foods. So we're still handling that. We're working with the county attorney's office on some tourist home issues in the county too. Some of those were complaint driven. People go and they stay at an Airbnb and there's an issue with it. And then they call us and we say, we've never even heard of this place. It's not licensed. And that's one thing we're never going to be able to handle is that this Airbnb or VRBO.com, these websites they'll let anybody list a tourist home on there. And they don't ask if they've got local licensure. They don't ask if they've got a business license. They don't ask anything. As long as they get a cut of it, then they'll let them advertise on there. And so we run into these issues, but it's all right because sometimes that's how they come up. So we do have a handful of those that right now we're reviewing some more tourist homes and getting them up to speed The challenging thing with that is that if you take a residential home and you want to rent it as a tourist home, you need egress windows and bedrooms. You need fire safety is a huge piece of this thing. And we can't license them until there's been a fire safety inspection. And typically that's the state fire marshal too. We don't even expect the locals to burn time to do some of those inspections. So these things get complicated, but anyway, we're actively right now working on a handful of them. And as they come up, we pursue them, we notify them that they need licensure, and Blaine's been a great help with that over this winter. We don't, and I will say, we don't actively go looking for them because we'd need another couple full-time people just to do that. So,
Yeah.
but we manage them as we can. And, so incrementally things keep getting better. I guess that's kind of it for right now. I'm not gonna say business as usual because it's not usual, but I'm tired. I needed a winter and I never got it. So I don't care if it snows 10 feet for the next month. That would be fine with that. So we'll see what happens.
Is there any comment for chat or public comment? All righty, well, thank you. We'll go ahead and move on with Amanda over for you.
For Amanda Borer, Public Health for Tobacco Prevention. So the DUI task force there in Phillipsburg and I have been working on a speaker for the schools, and we did secure our speaker. He'll be here next Tuesday. His name is Michael DeLeon, and he has sent his curriculum to all the schools in advance. He will start off in Powell County at 8:30 in the morning until 10, and then he will come to Drummond for 11 to 12:30. And then he will be presenting there in Phillipsburg from 2:15 to 3:45, but he's also offering a staff stakeholder and decision maker training, which is a lot different than what he's going to present to the youth. That will be about 3:45 or 4 o'clock until 4:45. So you guys are all invited and hopefully you will come. I think that staff piece, we paid for that at the end. It's going to be beneficial to the teachers, but if you guys can make it, that would be even better. The only other thing that I would like to talk about is the 30-foot distance ruling survey. I've been collecting surveys for about a year and a half now. I'm still sitting at 135, which is what I reported last time, so I'm not going to give all of those details, but I think the first two or the last two questions are the most important questions that we have asked were people that don't like breathing vape or cigarette smoke while they enter a business is sitting at 83.7%. And then people who think that a 30-foot distance ruling would be best is at 79.2%. I feel like that we did an excellent job at collecting all sectors. We got law enforcement, hospitals, schools, teachers, community members, daycare, even students. So I went on foot and got surveys from every single business in Phillipsburg. So my question for you guys is this a good enough number for you to start forming language for the board to consider adopting an amendment to the Clean Indoor Air Act policy? If that is the case, I would be happy to put that language together. I also have recommendations from the state, but I've also got Powell County's and Darrell Lodge County's copies that you guys can draw information from and just provide that for you over the next 3 months for review. If you're ready for that, I am happy to put it together.
Fine with me if you want to put it together, and then we can put it on the agenda and go over it, look and see, and then kind of put it out to the public some more. That's my opinion.
Sure. Okay, I will have that before the next meeting. I'll probably get it to you in the next month, so you guys have plenty of time to read the different versions.
Yeah, so we have time to get it on, and if we have to have a meeting, a public meeting, gotta have 2 weeks and stuff, so.
Okay. And that's all I have for you and nobody has any questions.
Any questions for Amanda, anybody? All right, well, thank you, good job, appreciate it. Okay, so we'll go ahead and move on with, Deb Robinson. Jackie's gonna fill in for us.
Jackie Bolster for Granite County Public Health. The student fair will be held on April 22nd. We will be in Phillipsburg from 9 to 11 and then move up to Drummond and that will be from 1 to 3. And then we're doing the Drummond Health Fair. We do one in Phillipsburg in the fall and we do this Drummond in the spring. So that will be May 6th from 11 to 4. And we are going to try bingo this year at 4 o'clock and we'll play in or have people play until dinner is served at 5:30. The Medicare revalidation application is being processed right now. We do have a PEP deliverable that will be in 2 months. And there's gonna be a PIO class on there. The whole day is gonna be PIO. So Deb and I'll both be taking it.
PIO.
Public Information Officer. And then we have another blood drive sponsored by Granite County to be held on June 2nd from 1 to 3 at the Valley Fire.
Thank you. Well, any questions for Jackie? Thanks, good job.
If I could just add, this Chad Lannis again, if I could just add again, we all have actually a joint training where I'd imagine you guys are gonna be at the Confluence training in Billings next.
Deb is going. I'm not.
Okay, yeah, so it's called Confluence Health and it's the, both the environmental health, sanitarians and the public health. We have a joint conference every year and that's gonna be the week of April 14th
Yeah.
in Billings. And so, yeah, I forgot to mention that earlier that Mark and I will be attending that and Deb will be attending that. And so that's always good training, both for, going and getting up to date with stuff, but also just with the networking. And I did see that Miranda sent out an email that there's also Board of Health training available at that, training, so. But it's, yeah, if any of the Board of Health members are interested and can make it, it's always really good. It's well worth attending, so.
Right.
And I'll give a.
So
report
would
on that
you
next time.
suggest that any board member that's interested get a hold of what would you?
I just got a postcard with a QR code on it this morning, so if anybody wants to go, I can share that with them. So.
Okay,
Yeah, and I think Miranda has some information on the,
Yeah, I think I sent it to all the.
yeah, yes, just yesterday, I think so. But yeah, I think that's worthwhile, at least for, and it's hard to carve out time like that, and especially in Billings, but it's really good, especially for newer board members, so worth thinking about.
all righty.
Thank you.
Thank you for that. We'll go ahead and move on with the local health officer, Dr. Kira Khan. How are you today?
I'm good, thank you. I don't really think there's any specific updates that I know about recently. Unless anybody has questions specifically, but
I don't see no hands. Thank you. All right, and then the next one's requesting a designated representative from Granite County Medical Center to report to the Board of Health and scope of reporting. You got something on that, so?
I don't know where that came from, so, so if you could explain what the scope of reporting is, I'm sure that I then can more appropriately speak to, I mean, Michelle or I would be more than happy to report, but we don't know what we're supposed to be reporting on.
I think that they used to come and say, just what's kind of going around and what's the hospital, what's coming in and what sicknesses and just. That's what they used to do and.
Might want to have a statement.
Huh?
Michelle might want to have.
Yeah, I was gonna ask her. Go ahead, Michelle.
Yeah, thank you. I just thought this was an important topic for us to add to the agenda. So Scott, thanks for adding it. I think it's important to make sure, that in each different meeting platform, these updates that we're getting are phenomenal. And I think that the community needs to know good work that's happening in all the areas that impact overall health within the community. And this board then becomes the perfect platform for those updates. Obviously, Jessica or I can give some updates of what's going on in our areas of the hospital, but also we're on the board. Generally, those updates would be provided just like the other updates being given by some other member within the organization, usually in leadership, whether it's the board chair or the CEO. So I would like to make a motion that the expectation is that we determine what it is that knowing what's going on at the hospital and sharing that with the members of the community is best going to be the way that we can share to the community what's going on at the hospital, so that we don't operate in silos. You cannot have a healthy community without the Board of Health having some awareness of what's going on within the schools, within the hospitals, as well as the other avenues we've just discussed, or the other departments in which we've discussed. So that was the line of thinking, but would love to look to the other board members and see if you guys think that is logical and useful, or if that would not have value.
I think it'd be useful, cause they used to come and give it a little update on just what's going on in the county and the sicknesses, and I think it'd be great.
Yeah, always any opportunity to spread good news is good.
Yeah.
So yeah, I think some of the positive things that happen quarterly, this is a perfect scenario for the medical center to be able to communicate that to the community.
And I think we can just put it on the agenda for the next meeting, just put you in there, just like
Yep.
what it is, and then I don't think, in that way, we can just put I think we're all in favor of that.
Yes.
So Michelle, does it need to not be, it can't be you or I, it needs to be someone not on the board, is that what I'm hearing?
No,
There's nothing that formal. I think ultimately the board making a decision about what they want is important. It's also just important that they are getting to hear without bias what's happening and what's going on, and so ultimately it's a small community, so I think that we should do whatever is best for the community, whatever that looks like. I don't think that there is a recipe that works or doesn't work, but ultimately sometimes people want to have that space to ask the CEO or ask the board chair, and what about this, those follow-up questions and this and that, versus the takeaway. Like if they were to ask you, Jessica, and what's happening with this, it's not necessarily within your purview to be able to answer those questions. So ultimately I don't have strong opinions. I just think that's why I thought a little space in this meeting to discuss what makes sense was the idea.
yeah, that'd be fine, we'll just put it on the agenda for our next meeting and have you align there, and then you can give an update what's going on. I don't think you have to make a motion to do that, cause we're all right here.
Yep.
We're in agreement.
Yeah, you should be able to just add it as a standard agenda item quarterly.
Everybody good with that? Okay, thank you. Do you have anything else? All righty. Well, we'll go ahead and it says agenda item for next quarterly Board of Health meeting. We just pretty much covered that, so.
What the hospital's doing right now?
Yeah.
I mean, as far as illnesses and things like that going around, it's respiratory season, we've seen a lot of respiratory, but not anything specific as far as RSV or COVID or influenza kind of popping up in that regard. Just a lot of viral illnesses, but outside of that, no real trending in any kind of like contagious conditions that we've been able to note, so.
Thank you. Alrighty, so the next meeting will be the Board of Health meeting is scheduled for June 16th, 2026 at 9 AM. Any other questions or anything on it before we adjourn? Well, thank you, everybody. Appreciate the updates and that. We'll get you on and go from there. All right, we'll go ahead and adjourn from the County Board of Health.
Happy St. Patrick's Day.
Happy Thanksgiving.
I'm Norwegian, but I'm wearing green.
I told you.
You might get pinched today, so. You might too.
Now, you know what it is.
I take your next word.
They look green sometimes.
Thank you.
Thank you.
I didn't quite understand what she was asking.
I didn't know it was either. In fact, I panicked because I thought maybe I'd come a little unprepared.
He's on Zoom.
Oh, yes, they're good. And like I said, I'm happy to look to like what we're seeing in the clinic and illness wise and stuff like that. But if the general population is looking for more information regarding the organs, like how things are being managed, that's outside my scope.
It's like airport board meeting tomorrow.
now, so. they-
Yeah.
So,
So, won't be here yet.
for I party.
Yeah, gotcha.
Thanks.
Good morning.
Good morning.
Thanks, Jesse.
All righty, we'll go ahead and move ahead, and, like I said, I'll be nominated as chairman today, Paul's on Zoom. Blanche is here, Miranda, Jackie, and Greg or Craig? Greg Barr is in the audience with attorney Blaine. So, we're
Someone.
I just the view.
It'll go to them. Even if they're not.
Yeah.
But I try to, like,
Just want to see.
Not seeing my food.
All it's doing is brings up with one. All I have to do is go to view
Permit.
Oh,
It's on
and you
Salt
multiply.
Ways.
Oh, at 9:50.
Okay.
Okay,
I'm gonna say, I got it.
yeah, thank you.
So I don't think it
Oh,
has
it's
anything with
okay.
the sound.
I thought you
Just to
said
see,
sound.
yeah, no sound.
Camera.
All right, so we'll go ahead and move ahead. Motion on the board minutes.
Okay, on board minutes, reading them. You have me as attending the meeting and I was not here. And I see Paul's on, so I don't feel I'd make a motion because I wasn't here to.
Okay,
I read the minutes, but I wasn't here to see if they're correct or not.
you wanna make a motion, Paul?
I'll motion to accept the board minutes.
I'll second it. Public comment?
So motion with that change.
Yeah,
Take out.
change.
one.
Yeah.
Okay.
All in favor?
Aye.
Aye. All righty, so we'll go ahead into correspondence. Can you hand me that, please?
Yes, sir, I'd be glad to leave.
The first one's from DEQ, and it's initialed on, House Bill 685, which was enacted in 2025. It's going through and giving an update on this stuff, and there'll be a public hearing on April 21st, 2026 at 11 p.m. in Helena, Montana. And it's on the Department of Environmental Quality. Next is from Mako, and it is a message from Montana Board of Investment regarding the Intercap Loan Program's variable loan rate. There's a website you can get on there and look to see. It's 4.50 with auto pay.
Which is variable, right?
Right.
And then next is from Purdue Pharma LP, and it's saying, you were receiving enclosed notice because you or one of your more parties whom you represent filed a claim. Do you know anything about this one, Brian?
Yeah, it's that ongoing class action suit. One of the informational, I don't know if we need to do anything, but I will look into it a little more.
Okay, but there's no reason to put it on the agenda to let you see something after you look into it. All right, that's it for correspondence. Any public comment? All right, we'll go ahead and move on with it and we'll into public comment. Do they have any public comment?
I know there's someone coming in to make public comment, but
All right,
probably
we'll
not
get-
till 9:30. She
we'll get
called me
time.
yesterday.
Yeah, I kind of jumped ahead there a little bit.
Stop.
Nope, go ahead. Public comment?
Elena Gagliano, for the record. I have a question, and then I have a comment. My question regarding the unsigned correspondence / email sent by the commissioners on March 11th at 3:46 p.m. On what date was this placed on an agenda for discussion and for approval to send?
Say
Can I
that
answer?
again. It's March, what'd you say?
Regarding the are you ready? Regarding the unsigned correspondence / email sent by the commissioners on March 11th at 4:46 p.m. On what date was this placed on an agenda for discussion and approval to send?
What was it?
The email from Miranda, is that?
I don't know, we don't know what you're talking about. Can you just say what it
Okay,
was?
so then the commissioners didn't have anything to do with it, for the record. So here's my comment for the record.
Say that.
Because none of the specific requests outlined in my February 26th letter were formally or directly addressed in the March 11th email, I'm not considering the March 11th email to be a response to that letter, for the record, and you will hear from me again if I don't get a response, a formal one. Thank you.
This is the letter that Miranda emailed, she sent to Elena. Your matter is not a matter of significant public interest, and so it does not need to be on the commission's agenda.
Oh, is that your opinion, sir? Is that your opinion, sir? And I believe that was Blaine Bradshaw, the county attorney.
Yep, this is
For the
Blaine Bradshaw.
record, that's your opinion?
Your matter is not of a significant public interest, and you're also asking for things that either you can obtain by yourself or their work product attorney privilege. So
my letter to you was a formal letter addressed because of your February 10th letter, a threat and a complaint. Okay, it was a threat, and you told me if I continued, this, that, and the other thing was going to, it had nothing to do with or public. It was a personal cease and desist, quote unquote, to my actions, and I wanted clarification on it, and it was signed by the 3 commissioners. And I assume the 3 commissioners were the one who came up with this idea, and therefore I would like an answer. Thank you.
All right, we'll go ahead, thanks. Move on. Any other public comment? Oh, it's way down there. Justine, go ahead.
Hi. I would just think, I've also been sent a cease and desist letter that I read at the meeting a couple of weeks ago. And there are accusations in there that are untrue. And I think just my general opinion is that it's really unethical to first of all, to state things that are untrue, as well as to make allegations without any supporting facts. And thank you for your time.
Thanks for your comment. Any other public comment?
I think I should respond, or she's calling me unethical after all that she's done to harass this county commission. That she's the one that's been acting unethically, and it basically coming down to it that she needs to stop her actions of harassing the county commission. Thanks.
Yep.
Go ahead. We're not not gonna get in a big debate here either. Did you copy that?
Yeah, I heard that. So thank you, Mr. Bradshaw. That is your opinion. I completely, utterly disagree with it. Thank you again.
So is there any other public comment? Yeah, I couldn't see, sorry, man, like, it's down and gets way
I
down.
know.
Well, what I did, I asked her to change the view so that when the person's speaking, that it'll come up
Oh,
for them bigger on the screen so that you can see them.
oh,
So,
well,
but if you, I have it right here,
oh, okay. I guess that one of them thinking I was ignoring them, but. Anyway.
One thing I encourage you, this is Blake Bradshaw, County Attorney. You have people on Zoom, they're giving aliases. I think they should have to give their real names or not be allowed on.
We've talked about this
Yeah.
before and said they had
Yeah.
to, and we just keep.
Yeah,
It's
they,
not right.
A. Tobin is not, it's an alias, it's not a real person.
And I think if we have, yes.
But.
No, I agree. Everybody else is giving their real names and pictures. One another, everybody should have to do it. Any other public comment? Paul,
No, I don't have nothing.
would you agree with that though?
Oh yeah, I think like, looking at it right now, you got a Zoom user and A. Tobin. I mean, it should be something we got to look into, or maybe they got to certify who they are to join the commission or the Zoom meetings especially for all of us getting hacked over the last year.
Okay, thanks. Any other public comment? Did you say somebody was coming in?
Yeah, someone called yesterday.
Okay.
Who's gonna come
We'll
in?
wait then. We're a little bit early, anyway.
Yeah,
It's all right.
yeah, I said to be here by 9:30.
Getting some moisture now, huh,
Yeah.
going in the ground, and see if the lakes came up, so we're at 10. I know it's not on, we're not on it yet.
Good moisture in the peddlers there.
It's Elena.
Who is it?
Elena.
Go ahead.
Thank you. Elena Gagliano for the record. I identified myself. And that's all that's necessary. Whoever speaks should identify themselves by name. This is what happens at the state legislature. I've testified several times. They do not require your camera be turned on or anybody who happens to be on Zoom to identify themselves unless they speak. So maybe you should get get a copy of Robert's Rules of Order, and that would help 3 commissioners. And also check into the state legislature as far as public comment and what's necessary. Thank you.
Well, she's A. Tobin, and so she's upset that, you're not gonna allow that on there. She has her name elsewhere on there, correct? Doesn't need to be on there twice.
phone number,
So,
her landline phone number.
yeah, and you guys are being reasonable in allowing
Yeah.
that. So she's ripping on you for something that you're already allowing because you're granting her some leeway.
Okay, on this comment from her, Blaine, don't we have a policy, and it's our policy, and as Granite County policy is, if you want to attend a Zoom meeting and you want to request to make a comment, our opinion is, our policy is that you must turn your cameras on. And we can actually do that according to Dan Clark, who is who does he represent?
The MSU local
Yeah,
government.
local government studies saying that we can, as the commission, request cameras and mics on. So what the legislature does in their regard to this is we don't have to go by the legislature, we can go by our own policy.
Well, you've been allowing, there in your policy, there is the
Leeway.
yeah, leeway for the chair to allow someone that's having trouble getting on to do that. And so you've been working with her. And so for her to rip on you guys for working with her is unreasonable, irrational, and yeah, disorderly,
For the record,
for the record.
Go ahead. Go ahead.
Elena
Aye.
Gagliano again for the record, and public comment is exactly public comment. It is not, and I agree, time for debate. Now, if there's questions that arise or comments that are made, maybe it should be on the agenda so you can have a conversation. Now, you say your policy, well, look on that big thing on the wall. If I remember, it's on the wall behind the commissioners, all the rules. I don't think that's been updated, but we have transparency. As a matter of fact, this is Sunshine Week. I don't know if any of you know what Sunshine Week is, because Montana has, in the Constitution, the right to be seen, to be heard, a transparent government. It's in our Constitution. So you should go out of your way to help the public understand what you're doing, why you're doing it, and when you're doing it. Not try to limit us, and that's what you're doing.
Okay, thanks, Elena. That's the third time you spoke, so I think your 3 minutes are up.
All right, is there any other public comment?
Eric and Justine.
Oh, sorry. Who is it?
Eric Anderson and Justine.
Yeah, I can't see it.
I know. Do you want me to change this?
Yeah, please, just so I can see it. Go ahead, Eric, sorry. There, that's perfect. Now I can see it.
Good morning, Commissioners. Eric Anderson, Airport Board Member for the record. I saw that there were several items on your agenda today for the airport, and our meeting, we weren't able to meet ahead of time. So tomorrow is our regular scheduled meeting, and I think we're going to address a lot of things that you have on your agenda today. So that's all I really wanted to do, is just speak to that. I wasn't sure if our vice chair was going to have a chance to join this meeting, but he is aware of what's on the agenda today and the request from you guys to address several things. So I just wanted to speak towards that.
Yeah, we can take what that's fine with us, I think. You care, Paul?
Yeah, so Eric, would you be able to be on the agenda then next week to discuss these matters then?
For the commissioners meeting? Yes, I will. Yeah, I was going to be in Canada next week, but a little skiing incident kind of tabled that, so I'll be around.
Or,
So I will
or anybody from the board would be fine. We can table the agenda item today for next week, and as long as someone from the board comes in to discuss what you guys came up with at your meeting tonight, we'll be fine.
Okay, the meeting is tomorrow night, Wednesday night.
Or tomorrow night, sorry.
Okay. Yes, I'm sure we can address all those things, and I'll do my best. If not in person, I'll be at least able to join you guys with Zoom. And I appreciate the applications being forwarded to our vice chair for the board. It's always nice to review those ahead of time and look at our applicants. and have a chance that they can join us on Zoom at the airport board meeting, and then we can make a recommendation to you guys for appointment.
It sounds good to me, Blanche.
So am I assuming that you're asking to table the 10:30
Correct.
agenda item with the county airport board update?
Correct.
What I'm just saying is we just haven't had a chance as an airport board to meet and discuss those items. And so I can't speak for the airport board. I'm just one of the members, and we haven't had a chance to meet and discuss all that yet. So just wanted to touch bases with you.
And Blanche, to kind of clarify, I had Blaine email the board to see if they could bump their meeting up to last night so that they could discuss these, so that we would have something for today. And that's the reason why it was on the agenda for today. But since they were unable to meet, then yeah, we'll have to table it for next week probably.
Okay, thank you.
So the 10:30.
Okay, thank you very much.
Tabled, so if anybody needs listening and needs to hear. Go ahead, Justine. Public comment.
I
Can't
just have
hear
a,
you.
yeah,
Go ahead.
sorry. I just have a quick question. Who is the chairperson for the meeting today?
What's that?
Chairperson.
I am, I already
Who
noted
is
that. First part of the meeting,
Okay.
And I said that Paul was on Zoom and Lance was here. I went through who was in the audience and everything. I'm doing it right.
That wasn't my concern. I was just confused. Thank you.
Why is it?
Just trying to get you.
All right, we're a couple minutes early, but we'll go into the weekly report with Road and Bridge. I was gonna, Blanche, you brought me in a piece of paper. We start on that.
Is he not gonna be here?
Please come. I guess this way we can look at what, yeah. Thanks.
Look at the budget.
Well, we're looking at the gravel and stuff,
Oh.
yeah, so it's up. Come on up, you're on, Paul, I'm a couple minutes early.
Oh.
Go ahead and give your update.
So first thing, we got that. This is the report from that woman that got in the wreck with the grader.
Do we need to close this, being it could be a litigation?
Yeah, I could, yeah.
We'll go ahead and close this litigation, great.
The grader was good.
Great, sorry.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I guess.
All right, we're back on and we were on closed session there and we were talking about our grader was hit this weekend on up at Georgetown Lake lift. A person going on, passing on a double line.
Yeah, it was double yellow first went around.
Nobody got tickets and that, but we're just trying to figure out what's gonna happen, so. All right, what else?
That's a big thing.
Did it damage the actual plow part or no?
No, it was barely, not much of a hit, but it was still a scrape, more of a scrape. And like I said, she passed a double yellow line and she has a house up there, so she knows it's double yellow, whether it's snowpack or not. And you should be taking more cautious.
Shouldn't be in that big a hurry.
Right.
You know, the road is bad, like you said, with how many other rigs
Yeah,
are hit.
9 Montana DOT plows were hit this weekend. People getting too close to plows.
But other than that, we're winging all the snow off. that we can off all the roads and said, because it's getting so warm, everything's gonna start running out to try to save as much of the road base as we can.
Well, I give a thanks to the guys that went out this weekend. They did the best they could. I mean, when we got hit with something like that, I appreciate what they were out doing what they're supposed to, so.
Yeah, we had plenty of guys out, so.
And the roads are gonna really fall apart here towards the end of the week when we are pushing 70 degrees.
Yeah, they are.
Like,
That's we're trying to get all the stuff kicked off them to show us to help a little bit, you know.
Anything else?
Just the water truck deal. What we want to do about that, if anything, or whatever.
Did you hear anything back from them on the price and stuff?
At 138, it's actually more money if you go through Sourcewell for some reason. And because International has so many sales out, what happened was they just bought a company out, and this truck happened to be one of them. And that's just kind of what it is. Basically, they don't want the Mac even. $5,000 what they offer for it.
I got a feeling we're probably just gonna fix what we have and stay going what we can with what we have, getting due to the money.
Okay, I'm gonna make a comment here, and this is the fact that we have 250,000 in intercap loan, and on that lease loan, it's gonna come out of next year's budget. We also have that budget for the road, 50% of it is just payroll and administration. So you're looking at 50% of that $1 million budget, and you're looking at another $250,000. That doesn't leave anything very much for maintenance that we have to do. I totally disagree with getting a water truck, no matter how great a price it is, until we pay down our intercap loan and where we have money to pay on a water truck. Whether it works or not works, you're gonna have to make it work for the next fiscal year. That's my feeling.
Oh,
What did you say, Paul, that they're only gonna give 5,000 for trade-in on that Mac, or I didn't quite hear that.
You know, that's what they said. If they just don't want it, you know. I mean, then you can't get rid of it for that anyway.
no.
That's just crazy.
Oh. Yeah, I think for that, we probably just need to keep looking. I mean, if they're not gonna, if they would have gave us like 30,000 or 40,000 or something like that, that'd be something. But if they're only gonna give us 5, I don't think that's a good deal.
No, and I think it's worth minimum 20 at least.
Yeah.
You know,
Right.
I don't think you do that either. I think it's a bad move.
I think that's pretty much what I understand, we'll just keep looking and maybe find something cheaper or something, then go in the whole 138.
No.
Okay, may I keep looking? What does that mean? That you're still gonna try to get something for this next fiscal year? I don't think we can afford anything this next fiscal year. I think we need to make it work, because we just don't have the funds. And the PILT fund has given the road fund for the last several years, $500,000 a year to balance that budget. And we have spent a lot of PILT money this last year. And are we even gonna have the $500,000 to give to the road department this year? That's my feeling. I think cease and desist with the looking until we can afford to get one. That's my opinion.
Right?
One thing I was gonna say, if, down the road, when you do wanna sell the, current water truck, that can be done at public auction, so you're not forced to trade it in.
Right.
Yeah.
And I agree with Blanche too, that, if the funding isn't there, it isn't there. But I think, just casually looking wouldn't hurt in case there is a deal that comes by. That's the only reason I said keep looking type deal, is like if the right deal comes around, but you just can't stop looking altogether.
yes, you can if you can't afford it.
Yeah.
Sorry, we're looking at 75% of that budget that is in payroll and administration and is also in intercap loans and lease loans. That leaves 25% for maintenance, for gravel, for all the other stuff that we need to have, that we have to have. That's my feeling. So
Right.
Once you get the intercap paid down, potentially could look at another
we got one more
intercap.
year,
Yeah,
yeah, if we
look
can
at
make that
intercap.
water truck last. One more year, you're not gonna have that $200,000 payment. It's gonna be gone, cause we have one more year on that intercap loan. But this year, that $250,000 is a lot of money when we're not even gonna have the 500,000 in PILT that we've had to budget for the road the last few years.
Yeah.
Makes sense.
Yeah.
So we'll just move on. Make work what we have.
Yeah, it's always you on it.
Yeah.
I mean, that's what we wanna do, but if it makes it, it makes it. I mean, whatever.
It's just one of them deals, we just gamble. If we don't have any money, and we don't.
But we do have mechanics, don't we, that are on payroll that can fix stuff.
If it's fixable. You know.
Well, and that's what we ran into last year. We put so much money into that thing, but you just can't get parts for it. It's not that you're not smart enough to fix it, it's you can't get parts, they're not available. That's the problem we ran into with it. But I'm not saying it ain't gonna run all summer. Maybe it will, maybe it's fine.
Oh,
Maybe it'll run them off. All we can do is, if that's what you wanna do, let's sit around, try it.
That's a plan, right?
Yep.
Okay, we're all agreeable. What
Let's
else?
don't want anybody kill anybody over there. But,
Anything else?
no,
Any public comment for Paul?
you got pictures, I guess, did they finally come through? Okay.
Yep. Justine.
Justine Richmond, does the county have a capital improvement plan?
Yes,
It's on file?
Yeah.
Okay, thank you.
so, yeah, and the capital improvement plan, you still have to save, you still have to put money in it. To save for a piece of equipment, and we're looking this year, are we even gonna have that? So, yeah, there is a capital improvement plan.
All righty, anything else?
You guys have a good day.
You too.
See you later.
Alrighty, so we'll go ahead into the solid waste district report. Weekly report. First one, we'll talk about is we got comments from Todd and John, which we get each week, and sounds like it's pretty good. Checked in on a fuel tank for Todd. We're still in discussion over that, Paul. I haven't heard back from that guy that had some of them tanks. And that, Paul checked in and got prices on a brand new tank and pump. I think it's around $1,000 or better for a tank and a pump. And there was a guy that had some that I thought he might want to get rid of, but he's never called me back.
All right. Well, I can kind of look into it. Like we were kind of talking about having just a freestanding like 300-gallon tank, gravity fed. I think a brand new one with a stand was like $1,200, I think is what it was. Where you look at like a slip tank with a pump, I mean, you're going to be right at $1,000 for a 100-gallon slip tank and a pump. So, I mean,
We might have to 55-gallon barrel. They're sealed, put a pump in, they're sealed, just get a hand pump for what few gallons a week he uses, just get us by.
So is this something that we're going to look at for the next year's budget? Because
Okay.
right now it's March and we have April, May and June. I think,
But we're just trying
we
to
need to look
figure
at what's in the solid waste budget and budget accordingly for the next fiscal year.
we're just trying to get something right away, so you have fuel out there. But like I said, the guy might just have to get a 55-gallon barrel in his hand for now. Right?
How does Drummond? Is it time for questions or?
Go ahead, you gotta state your name.
My name is Scott Redding.
And come closer, Scott.
I was wondering what Drummond does for their fuel.
Runs down and fuels it. Only a couple blocks, 3 blocks, just runs down, comes back up
With the tractor?
with the back.
Backhoe, yes, okay. I'm just curious why there's a tank needed for Phillipsburg.
Cause he wanted one.
Okay, I'm just curious what the difference was the two sites.
He wanted a tank or something out there.
Okay, all right.
Also, the limit overtime, wasn't it?
Yeah.
As well. Yeah. He was asking for overtime
To fuel.
Okay, so we'll go ahead into, next part of it is burn permit update. Scott?
I'm kind of gonna take it over for Scott.
Because you called Bell, so.
Ashley Todd, Granite County Treasurer. This was brought,
She wants you to come up.
oh, am I not loud enough?
So pick you up.
No, you're
pick you up
on camera.
Oh, okay. You can- It was brought to our attention that, the site was ready to be burned, but the permit had lapsed. The permit is an annual permit. There's some pretty strict timelines for this. And so the permitting did not allow for that burn to happen when the fire chief was ready to burn, or he had been talked to by someone, I don't know who, to burn the pile. That was put to a stop, and the permit has gone through the initial steps. We still have to wait for DEQ to give us our initial permit, which is not the final. And then there's another time period after that, then we receive the final. After the final, then we have to put in our request to burn. And then that has to be inspected by Chad, the sanitarian. And it has to be done 10 days prior to the burn. The burn has a 30-day window. And so we're at the point where we are waiting for DEQ to respond with the final. And then we can request for that burn to happen with the fire department.
So right now, we're waiting for has the application been submitted to DEQ?
Yes.
And so we're waiting for the response?
Yes.
To do the publication?
Publication is already.
That's good.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. So we can't actually send them the application until the publication has been put into the newspaper. We can't do it 10 days prior to or 10 days following after.
Okay, so we're looking at how many days?
So the application was submitted on February 20th. They received the application yesterday and said that they had done the acknowledgement. I have not received an acknowledgement letter because we get the acknowledgement letter first, then the initial, and then the final. And then we can say, they also already have the permit request for burn. So they have everything that they need for us to burn within the next week or so. And then Drummond's site also Chad signed off on today. He said that they could burn if they're ready to. That was preemptive looking at the forecast that, we probably should burn if they have anything to be burned. We do have to submit the burn request every time we burn. That's another thing that needs to be.
We only burn once a year though, right? That's all we ever have.
I've had it requested only once last year, but I don't know prior to.
Yeah,
What
we don't-
Jody would, if
They
Jody
only-
requests twice a year.
They'd only let us burn like once a year anyway, so that's all we requested, you know, just.
Oh, they'll let us burn as often as we'd like, as long as the air quality is good. Yeah, I don't know if Jody ever requested multiple burns or not, but
Which I don't think we ever have, we just got once a year.
yeah. And I don't know,
Cause then that cleans it up, cause they don't wanna be burning, they wanna get it cleaned up and then they can kick it around, otherwise if they're gonna burn, then it'll be hot year round, is what I was.
I don't know what John's process has been in the past either. If he
That's where I'm going.
does it with himself or if he has the fire department
He
coming in
does,
for
he's
training.
always done with himself, him and Fred,
Okay.
cause then they stay there and push it up.
Mhm. Yeah, so that's where we're at. The only thing I would maybe say about these burn permits is, making sure that we are following the guidelines and the timelines. There is an MCA, and I don't recall what the code is, but that does state that if we are not in compliance, that we can lose our permitting as well as an $80,000 fine. So up to an $80,000 fine, no more than. So I made sure to talk to the fire captain about that we need to wait until we have everything in line before we move forward with anything.
Okay.
And Scott was off on the days that this all transpired, so that's why I just took the lead on it and took it from Miranda and just went with it and got everything submitted. But going forward, the clerk will be reporting to DEQ on that. So yeah, now we wait.
Sounds good, that's all we can do, thanks for the update.
Yeah.
Please, that way, and then we can get a hold of the fire departments and stuff once we get lined out.
Yeah, they're eager to get it burned, I think.
Oh, we're running out of room, we still have a whole big line, I went up and looked at the one at Drummond. There's still, we can get quite a bit in there, but here, it's, the way it sits out there, we would have to start moving it up above or quit taking it.
And did you,
We're currently not doing it
Yeah.
anymore.
did you put in notice in the newspaper, right, that they were no longer accepting materials? I think.
And it's on the website.
Yeah,
And it's on his window.
so that could, is it recurring, weekly notice?
No, I think we just did the
Okay.
one.
It's on the
But just to say, you could
website.
probably pull it after the burn happens and
Yeah.
yeah.
Sounds good, thanks.
Great, thanks.
All right, any questions for them? Sorry. Public comment for them? All right, thanks, you guys. Okay. Tim, we're running a little behind. Dan Tinder's report. It's at 6428.64, 10.32 global pool. Last week was 11.64, so we're getting about an inch. I guess on the recommendation, see what you guys wanna do. Mine is, I don't know, if we should just wait one more week and just see what it does, or if we wanna move it up to 10. That's totally, I'm good with either way, but just kind of see what we're actually gonna get out of it. And Paul gave me info on Peterson Meadows and all that snow hill, whatever you call it.
Mr. Callan.
No.
Yeah, I got the information here. So like Warm Springs is 140% of normal. It's got 26 inches of water. Peterson Meadows is 180 or 108% above normal, and it's got 9.5 inches of water. I would bump it up to 10 CFS this week, especially since by the end of the week, we're going to be bumping 70 for 3 days. I think we're going to have a big inflow of water. So I think we'd probably be safe to bump it up to 10 anyways.
I agree with Paul because of the fact that we've got this moisture. We also, gonna have very warm weather, which is going to melt what little snow we have, so. I think going to 10, because we don't know what's gonna happen in the next month or two.
Is that your motion? Go ahead and move it up to 10.
Yeah.
Okay.
I'll motion to bump it up to 10 CFS.
And I'm gonna second that motion.
Public comment? Blaine?
So, Paul, do you think, inflows are at least, or 10 at least, right? I mean, so this wouldn't be a temporary modification, it'd be consistent with what the.
Yeah, and I think Paul Talon was saying last week that he thought the inflows were about 10 CFS. That was last week or the week before, 2 weeks ago. So
Kind of showing it being we gained it over an inch, so.
Yeah.
All in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
Carry back. If you wanna get hold of Paul and tell him that you go to 10.
That would be Mr. Callen. Okay, 2 Pauls around.
There's a lot of Pauls.
There was a, Todd Blythe had a report too, you guys received that?
Yeah.
Okay.
Alrighty, so we'll go into the Tri-County Fair Board Resignation Airport Board application, Phillipsburg Library Board member letter of interest, and Drummond TV Board merger and application. We'll start right out with resignation of Amanda Weaver off of the Tri-County Fair Board. I'd entertain a motion to accept it.
I will make a motion to accept respectfully Amanda Weaver's resignation from the Tri-County Fair Board.
I'll second it.
Public comment?
You guys will send her, Commissioner will send her a letter.
All in favor?
Aye.
Aye. Alrighty, the next one is an application for volunteer boards and advisory committees, and this is the airport board and Craig Barr. And he's in the audience today. Are this one of them that we're just gonna keep on file, just like we did the other ones until we figure out what they wanna do with how many?
Yeah, that's probably good. Good.
I think
Go ahead, Paul.
I think so, right? Because we're at 6 board members right now, right? With one retiring later this spring. And so we already have one application on file, and we're just waiting to hear what they want to do, if they want to keep it at 7 or move it to 5, right?
Correct, that's what we kind of left in there. So when they had that meeting, they were gonna make that and then bring it to us when they went over the bylaws and either stay at 5 or 7.
Yep.
That guy, come on up and state your name and after that, sorry.
Greg Barr for the record. I'm the applicant for the airport board. I'm going to attend that meeting tomorrow night. So I think like Eric said earlier, we'll see how that plays out. And of course, I'm going to attend it as a visitor. So we'll see how that plays out. I'm anxious, I've got the experience and whatnot, so I'm anxious to have my input for the airport, help out. Thank you.
Thank you.
And maybe we can add this to the agenda along with the airport next week on the agenda item. Maybe they can, if they decide if they want to go with the full 7 or keep or downgrade it to 5.
It sounds good, yeah, let them go over the bylaws and see what they wanna change and we'll get them on the agenda and then we can go over the whole thing, get everything done for once.
So you're talking about having a appointments line item, and then if he's tabled, you table it?
Yeah.
Okay, so do we have to make a motion to get Greg back, the application accepted?
Yeah. No.
No?
I think, well, you're gonna, I guess, table them, so you can.
I just said we was gonna put it in the file with the other one.
Okay, but we did the same with,
Yeah, the table it, put it on file. You could do that.
okay. Okay.
Alrighty, so we'll go ahead and jump right into the Phillipsburg Public Library. Come on up.
Morning,
Morning.
happy Father's Day. Sue Sweeney, Chairman of the Library Board. Kathy Gillis, I think you already received your resignation letter and accepted that already. So, the board met and we, would like to appoint Stephanie White. I think you guys all have a copy of the letter. Did they get a copy?
Yeah.
As to replace Kathy's position, this is a county commission appointed, seat that expires in 2026.
To be finishing off the term.
Finishing off the term and then hopefully staying on. And, you know, she's just in the library all the time, has 3 lovely little girls that she brings in there all the time. So she's gonna be a great, younger voice. A lot of veteran members of our board, so I like the younger voice on the board. It'd be great.
So you want a motion to entertain that, go ahead and fill.
Yeah,
Carry out.
to finish the term, yeah.
I will make a motion that we accept Stephanie White as one of the Phillipsburg Public Library board members.
I'll second it.
To complete the term of Kathy, right?
To finish Kathy's term.
Right.
I'll second that.
Public comment? Being none, all in favor?
Aye.
Aye, motion is carried and passed.
Thank you very much.
Thank you. All right, so the next one is, the board is for the television board. Richard Alum. Did I say that right?
Sarah.
Okay, anyway, he's applying for the board, and I think the only one on it is Sarah, isn't it? So I'd entertain a motion, or if you want,
So what board is he applying for?
television.
Is that, we still haven't combined
Yeah.
the Drummond
That's on
and
the
Phillipsburg TV together.
So the,
To merge.
Phillipsburg for right now. I think the merging is just a initial thought, discussion on that, so I did the motion on Phillipsburg TV district, he lives out of Phillipsburg. They can always change.
I don't know if Sarah wanted to come in for this or not, but you can speak on it.
Okay, I will make a motion for Richard Alums, if I'm pronouncing that right. For the Phillipsburg Television Board member.
I'll second it.
Public comment? Being none, all in favor? Aye. You'll get a letter to him too. Thanks.
So you understand, yeah?
I've talked to Sarah a little bit about combining the boards, and if you can't get the folks interested in it, I think combining it would be,
Well, this has been the case since we were able to get, free TV for the Granite County that we just don't have board members. They're split, we should merge them as one board, but they're 2 different tax districts. They're 2 special tax districts. So I don't know how that would work. They're just not levied. They are 2 separate tax districts.
let me do a little
Yeah.
research into that. You have some Drummond board members as well, or no?
No.
No,
No.
they're done.
Okay, let me do some research then.
Okay, on that note, we'll go ahead and move into the pursuing an MCEP construction grant for Clark Fork River Bridge, South Main Street, south of Drummond with Great West Engineering. This discussion decision, you said Jeremiah gonna be on? or-
He's not, so
You
you're
sent a letter.
gonna have to read this.
Yeah. So last week, the county commission approved moving forward with it, and basically tentatively. But there's some more information here. Jeremiah says Good morning, everyone. If Granite County successfully secures congressionally directed spending funding for the South Main Street project in Drummond, the county will likely need to provide matching funds. The CDS request will go through the U.S. Department of Transportation, and the match required in Montana is 13.42%. This means Granite County would need approximately 1.2 million as a match for the project. One possible option for matching funds is to apply for the Montana Coal Endowment Program, MSEP, for the Clark Fork River Bridge replacement. Granite County has previously used MSEP, formerly TSEP, funds to replace bridges. If awarded MSEP funding, the county could receive up to $750,000 for bridge replacement, which could be used as a match to the CDS funding. It's important to note that the MSEP grant application is quite comprehensive, and a preliminary engineering report for the bridge must be completed. Great West fee to complete a PER and grant application would be $30,000. The Clark Fork Bridge is in poor condition, but based on MTD inspections, it ranks as a level 3 out of 5, 5 being the poorest, and need a replacement. It also has a short detour, which is going to lower the priority of need. The county will need to decide whether to pursue MSEP funds for the Clark Fork River Bridge. If MSEP funding is secured, but CDS funding is not, we could approach MDT to see if they'll cover the remaining bridge costs through the off-system program. Great West has had success with this approach on previous large bridge projects. Another potential funding source to help match CDS funds is House Bill 924, dedicated to bridge funding and authorized during the last legislative session. Although the funding requirements are still unclear, we will monitor this program as well. So there's a possibility you can get the CDS, but we need the match. But to do the application is $30,000 for the 7-7.
So. A lot of money.
Louis Stills.
And a lot of money that's not guaranteeing that we'll get the grant.
I think that's why we were just gonna pursue it, and go on, see if we could get the grant and start looking where we could reach out. That's a lot of money to.
Okay, so then we pay $30,000 to Great West to go for the grant. What does that come out of?
That's the problem. That's the problem.
I mean,
What should it come out of?
that's your only available option, isn't it?
Yeah.
It is
So
still,
30,000 to pursue what we'd need, the 1.2 million, then we'd have to turn around and go for the formerly TSEP funds of 750,000. And then we're gonna have to come up to the balance of that for the 1.2 million.
you've already put in for the CDS, but there's no guarantees on that. This is to put in for the MSEP, the 30,000, but there's no guarantees that you'll get that either. But if you don't put in, you're guaranteed not to get it.
Well, right, I see that.
What's the deadline for the MSEP?
Let's say May.
Did you just say we already put in for it?
It's May 15th.
May 15th.
May 15th.
Yeah.
Oh.
I think it's May 15th. Is that what that says?
So what do you think? Apply for the MSEP? Do we need to do that?
But if you're willing to put in the 30,000 out of Phil.
Want to table this and think about it?
No, we need it. We have to do something. This is, that road is in that bridge. So is it just for the bridges or is this the road too?
That's just bridge.
Just bridge.
For the CDS.
Road and bridges.
Yeah, but one thing though is the preliminary engineering report could be used for further grant applications as well. So you're.
Right.
It's not a total loss if you don't get this round of it.
Either way, I'm sure we're gonna have to have an engineer to look at it, no matter what we do.
Well, and I mean, it's my mind. I mean, 30,000 is a big chunk of change for not a guarantee, but I mean, what was it going to cost us to just what we're looking at for that road just to mill it and repave it, it's going to be way more than 30,000. And like Blaine said, is like, if we get it done now, for future references, we'd already have the preliminary engineering on it. It would be no cost then to keep pursuing other grants. But I mean, I don't have the budget in front of me. So, I mean, that's more Blanche's neck of the woods of if we even have the money to put down 30K.
Well, you would have it filled, but how much then?
Would have to come out of pill. And I'm just, we need to, this is just really hard because we do definitely need, it needs to be fixed. It's in dire shape. But here's what I'm asking, the 30,000 is for them to do the MSEP grant.
The preliminary engineering report and application.
And okay, and we've already got the CDF grant in.
The application's in.
Okay, the application's in. Okay, and to be able to get the CDS grant, we have to be able to have funding to pay on the 1.2 million match for the project.
Well, you could get the CDS, but they're gonna say you're gonna have that match. So
You're gonna have 1.2 million and 750,000 of that's gonna be another application for a grant. So then what happens if we don't get it? Do we just fold? Yeah, okay,
We don't have no choice, but.
I think we do have to go for it. I think myself, I feel that this road absolutely is in dire shape. The bridge isn't, like you said, it's third out of fifth, but it's still, I think I'm for it. I say go.
Yeah. I mean, I think we have to too. I mean, that road and those bridges have been in dire straits for the last 25 years.
So entertain a motion on that? We'll make a motion, Blanche, or?
So can I say one more thing? You're talking about CDS also was for the other bridges, Gold Coin and Middle?
No.
Did not include those?
No.
Okay.
No, they get,
Okay.
stay on the one with the.
Okay,
That's better luck.
just the Clarkport Bridge, okay.
So just the one bridge.
They have
the three
better luck
along
with
the
a
road.
bigger job.
Okay, the three along South Main Street.
Correct.
The what?
And I think
There's bridges on South Main Street.
and in my mind, oh, go ahead, Blanche.
Made me lose my train of thought. Go ahead.
Well, I was just thinking, I mean, looking at this, the South Broadway there with the bridges and everything, like if there is something that happens to Highway 1 with one of those bridges or whatever, and it gets shut down, it is the only access to the south end of the county, really, to come through Drummond there. I think, in my mind, I think we're in pretty good shape to actually get that, the loan, I can't remember the acronym that we applied for last week. So, I mean, I agree with Blanche on that. We should probably try to go for this, for the MSEP.
That's exactly what the Kiwanis letter said, that potentially they're gonna need here soon be working on the bridge over on Highway 1 over the potentially over the river there, and so that would be the only close detour would be South Main.
We'll have a better contract this time than when the train hit and took the bridge out. But when they detoured through there, we never ever got nothing out of that.
So that was the county had that road now.
So how would that motion go? The motion is for $30,000 to pay Great West to do the MSEP grant funds to cover the CDS funding.
They're gonna do a task order, but right now to approve Great West to apply, create the application and the PER for the MSEP.
And for it to come out of PILT.
You have a second?
I'll second it.
Public comment? Go ahead. Becky Beard. Come on up so they can hear you. Will you please?
Good morning, Becky Beard. I'm a former grant writer, funding consultant. And I don't know as if a question's been asked of your consultant as to whether or not there are any grants for planning and or PER completion. Because the Department of Commerce does have some of that money available too, that you could match perhaps. So that's just a thought.
No, thank you. I appreciate it. We'll check in on it. We'll ask them. Thank you. Any other public comment? Go ahead.
Thank you, Elena Gagliano, for the record. Nice hearing you, Becky. Thank you for showing up. Just point of clarification that the $30,000 is going to be coming out of the PILT funds. Am I correct?
Correct.
I'm sorry?
Correct.
Okay, thank you. And that will be in the motion. Okay, thank you.
Yes. She had it in her motion. Thank you. All in favor?
Aye.
Aye, motion been carried and passed.
And you also want to look, have Jeremiah look into the
Yeah.
Montana Commerce grants there.
We'll get a hold of it.
I'll also note that, Senator Beard, when, we email her, she's responsive and gets back and works with the county. I'll note that for the record.
Thank you. Okay, well, we'll go ahead and, next one has been tabled. Airport board thing, okay, that one's tabled for next week or get everything lined out and we can do the board stuff and with you, right?
I had one, you might have a quick question. Jack Foster. I saw in the email thread that was going back and forth about this topic that there was it looked like a preliminary county ordinance on the beacon the emergency operation. Did you write that, Blaine?
Yeah.
Okay.
Just as an initial start.
Okay, it looked good.
So, yeah.
So thank you. I just wanted to, we're gonna talk about that tomorrow, so I just wanted to know who submitted that before.
I've had like 3 drafts in my head, so it's an initial draft for you guys to.
That would look in line with what we should be doing.
All right, thanks.
Alrighty, so we got a few minutes, got half an hour till the next agenda item. Got anything else you wanna talk to about?
She's on at 11, yeah.
Oh, yeah, there's lots to talk about.
You're doing lots of hearings over there right now? Or
But we're doing a lot of interim committees.
the committee?
Yeah. And I'll touch on those.
Okay,
too.
all right.
Oh, my lord.
Yeah,
It's busy.
I bet.
I'm glad that Miranda got me on the agenda because there are some things to talk about and I wanted to share.
Yeah, awesome. You mean recess till 11?
Yep.
Okay, I'll be back then.
We'll go back on. And it's 11 o'clock and we'll go ahead into the bill drafting process. Becky Beard, come on up, please. If you state your name and stuff for the record, you can just pull a chair up here and sit down.
Oh, I
Yes,
talk
so,
loud.
'cause
I
they-
talk loud.
Okay.
All right. Well, good morning, commissioners and Amanda. Thank you for having me today. I'm Becky Beard, Senate District 38, which covers Granite, Powell, and Jefferson counties with precincts in Anaconda, Deer Lodge, Lewis and Clark, and Missoula counties. So I get around. But I wanted to stop by here to just let you know that I'm starting to go through my constituent issues folder for bills that people brought up last session that we need to address this session, because I'm getting ready to start bill drafts with our staff up at the Capitol. And I'm going to hopefully be on local government, the Senate Local Government Committee again, Senate Taxation and Senate Education. So any of those topics would particularly be of interest to me if you have issues out of Granite County that need to be addressed at the legislature. I typically do not do bills that deal with spending because I think we spend enough money already. And if I get asked to take on a spending bill, I say first, where are we going to get the money from? Because I will not vote to raise taxes.
Yeah.
So therefore, I don't sponsor too many of those bills. Education bills, we have a heavy lift. Right now, I'm on the school funding interim commission. And as a commissioner, we're supposed to be looking at the transparency or lack thereof of our school funding. And we have great complexity, and we're not getting the funding we need for our rural schools in Montana. When I bring it up to the appropriations committee, they say, well, we just need to start consolidating more of our rural schools. And that does not work in ag-related Montana to consolidate schools. There should be enough money for what we spend, $5 billion every 2 years in funding our schools. And it seems that we are getting a lot of pushback on the school funding interim commission from teachers from the bigger cities who have union representation. We're getting pushback from the technical associations, technical assistance associations, who service different kinds of school types, whether it be the Montana Rural Schools or School Boards Association or so forth. So we're getting pushback from them. They all in unison. We need more money for schools. And right now we're looking at hundreds and hundreds of millions of dollars of new spending proposals for the schools in Montana. And I can assure you, we have not heard from the rural schools about how much more money they need. But we're hearing from Bozeman and Great Falls and Billings and Missoula. And we're hearing from them, they're very angry with the legislature because we don't give them more money in their view. But we give them cost of living, inflationary increases every year. That's just a given. Plus we fund new programs. And they are able to curate a number of programs that the school systems need for expanded social services and for expanded outside activities. And we just have to put our foot down and say, we don't have that money available, especially with all the other priorities in the state. I heard you talking about your bridge, and you're just one community, one local government that has one issue, well, many, but that's your priority issue. And we need to start prioritizing those issues for spending taxpayer dollars. I don't want more laws. I just want to go in and clean up the laws we have. I don't do the spending. I want priorities. And I wanted to ask you where you are with sales tax proposals. I mean, truly, for discussion is where you are, sales tax, and what you've heard about the sales tax selling item.
So you tell me what you feel about sales tax.
Well, I'm supposed to be representing you. And I will, but I want to hear where you are first.
Myself, would sales tax eliminate property tax? No. So what kind of percentage would they be asking for sales tax on top of the property tax?
Well, we have a cap per the Constitution of 4% sales tax. I don't know what the argument is going to be with some of these resort tax and local taxes on top of sales tax. Because we're supposed to stay at 4.
Thank you.
So that will be a point of contention. But I think we're looking at sales tax revenue in the state of Montana, 1.4 to 1.5 billion dollars annually. And that's pretty volatile because if people decide not to come to Montana, we're gonna lose revenues. And we've already seen, even though the numbers are creeping back up with the number of people coming to the state for visits, they're bringing their picnic baskets and they're bringing their sleeping bags. So, I mean, we have the lodging tax, which is statewide, and we're already paying that. So does that go into the calculation of our statewide sales tax?
Yeah.
So 1.5 billion. Our House Bill 2 from last session was $2.2 billion higher than the previous biennium. Sales tax doesn't bite into that at all. It's only a portion of the property taxes. So there is that. They're saying that it will help buy down property taxes. But what happens next legislative session when we increase spending another $2.2 billion, which has been kind of a routine occurrence at our legislature? It's not going to keep up with sales tax revenues. We can't exceed 4%. So I think it's a false flag. We would love to see property taxes go down. We're hearing that we need the third leg of the stool for tax revenues, but we don't talk about how to cut spending at the state level. We haven't cut spending since COVID, when we had to increase spending, but don't worry, it will go down after COVID passes. It has not gone down. We're expanding services.
I think if you surveyed Granite County residents, majority would say they don't want a sales tax, especially if you're not getting rid of the property tax. But that's just my gut, talking to people there. People maybe have a different perspective. And also, I think, I don't think every legislative session, the legislature gets bogged down in the real property taxes. It needs to be based upon purchase price with inflationary every year. And I mean, the people aren't able to afford their property taxes. So, I mean, the legislature's fallen on that one. That's the big one in my mind.
I agree.
Yeah.
There are 2 suits pending, and the governor just put out a press release yesterday that he wants the courts to accelerate the review of the first piece of litigation filed by Senator Greg Kurtz, former Senator Regier, and Senator McGilvray. So he wants to expedite that one. That one is based on the way it was put together was unconstitutional. We're only supposed to have 1 issue per piece of legislation. This one had numerous. There's another piece of legislation being considered, or legal lawsuit being considered, in that the Constitution says property tax has to be fair and equal. Well, we have a tiered system. So if you're rich, you're going to have rich and have a high zoot home. Your property tax rate is going to be higher than the 80% of people in Montana. That's not per the Constitution. So that's to be sussed out by the courts. So some people have said, can we use sales tax to cut education costs? If we can use sales tax revenue to offset education costs, but our education costs for the biennium are 3.5 billion in Montana. That's not enough to buy down, especially since we are looking at hundreds and hundreds and hundreds of millions of dollars in proposed new spending for public education. Unfortunately, in some of these bigger towns and cities, we're seeing more people going to charter schools and to homeschooling. because they're not satisfied with the public school system. I want our public school system to be restored and to not take on all of these extra programs that parents don't have any input in. And because I feel that way, I've been labeled by some of these school associations as an extremist. And that was in an email that was somehow released to the press. Extremists on the School Funding Interim Commission. And it's just because I want parental rights. And I'm so spoiled because I have been a school board trustee for rural school, our Elliston school. And I get to visit with the rural school people, and they have their heads on straight because they're operating within a very strict budget. Whereas in the bigger cities, the sky's the limit. Let's bring in anything and everything. Parents don't want their children exposed to anything and everything. They want them to read, write, and learn arithmetic. So I'm getting quite involved through the Montana Digital Academy with artificial intelligence and bringing that into public schools, and talk about a scary issue. Something we needed to do yesterday, but how do we do that in good governance so that we know our teachers and our aspiring students are directing it instead of Google and Microsoft. So that's something that we're just starting to get our teeth sunk into, and it's expensive. So that's going to add to the cost of education. We're looking at, you heard of marijuana? So we've got a good chunk of the going out crowd not going out anymore. They're staying home on their devices and enjoying THC infused beverages. Well, what the state is trying to do right now is to introduce THC infused beverages through the liquor and marijuana licensing boards, so they can distribute those beverages to nightclubs and bars, so they can try to draw out the paying public again into their. So
interesting.
Revenue interim committee bills. We're just trying to streamline regulations and taxes as much as possible. We understand that the property tax bills that we did last session, which were not held back by the extremists, the freedom, those who didn't believe in the way that was done. We didn't hold it back. It was held back to be introduced in the last couple of weeks of the session. So they would be able to ram them through, because we all promised that we would get some income or property tax reform done. We were led astray the entire session. That's a good idea. We're going to put that in our toolkit. That's a good idea. We're going to put that in our toolkit. We'll do one big, beautiful bill at the end that addresses all of these ideas. It wasn't the rational, non-emotional thinking people that held back on voting for it. It didn't get introduced until very late in the session. I'm working on anti-squatting bills again. We did one that we thought cleaned up the squatting issues in the state of Montana. It wasn't enough. We still have the sheriff's office, sheriff's department going in, and they can't grab somebody, handcuff them, and drive them out of the house. There's still too many questions. So we're going to try to beef that up, introducing criminal repercussions along with intensified civil repercussions. Accommodations tax. I don't know, you familiar with the American Prairie? American Prairie Reserve? North Central Montana? Yep. Commissioner Kulowski, thank you. So they've come in, and it's a private property rights issue. they've come in and offer top dollar to ranching and farming concerns where young family members have left the farm. The elderly parents who run the farm can no longer deal with it, so they sell out to the best offer and leave for sunnier prospects. And this American Prairie, it's an NGO, 501c3. They've come in to buy up a huge piece of Montana for conserving the prairie, conserving the wild prairie. So they're locking it up. They're getting BLM grazing rights and so on and so forth to raise buffalo, whether they're domestic buffalo one week or wild bison the next week. It vacillates depending on the winds of politics. They have every right to go in and buy up this property, but the neighboring ranches are getting very concerned because it's bringing in disease potentially to their cattle. The bison don't adhere to standard prairie fencing, and they're locking up grazing land that people would like to move their cattle onto. So our ag industry is being hurt, along with some of those state grazing rights that pay into bigger and better things, and we're not getting the money from that either. So that's one thing. That's all a property rights issue. We've been there down this road a long time. Now what we're finding out is they're having lodging set up where they bring their people from the East Coast and Western Europe in to spend a luxury week in Montana's wild prairie, and they can stay in a yurt or whatever. They're paying for accommodations, but they're not paying the lodging tax. So I tried to get a bill last session to nail them on that, and they have a lot of lobbyists, well-paid lobbyists. We're going to go back and recalibrate and run that one again. One that you might have heard of is the Property Rights Protection Act, Private Property Protection Act. I heard about it from Northern Powell County a lot. People were very angry with me because I wanted to say local governments have a duty to protect and safeguard. But as far as my private property goes, I can build a house where I want to for my next generation to stay on the ranch. Well, things got turned upside down. I had not visited with local governments in my area to find out how they felt about my bill. I was just running with it with the Pacific Legal Foundation and other legislators that I was working with. So going to try to take another run at that, very much toned down, dialed down, because I don't want to upset any citizen initiatives within the county governments who want to set up the ranches within a 10-mile radius to not affect anybody else's view shed. I mean, to me, that's a little overstepping their bounds, but if the citizens in that area want to do that, that's up to them. So I want to recognize those issues before I get carried away again. I wasn't carried away, but I was just very narrowly focused. So I'm going to try to run that again. Education bills, seems like every time we come up with an education bill to reflect the wishes of the more rural conservative areas of our state, they get taken on by lobbyist groups and big, powerful attorneys. So they keep getting taken down. So we've got our work cut out for us. Those are my issues. Again, I don't do spending issues. I've had one of the legislators locally point out that I didn't get many bills passed this last session. I had 21 bills that I ran, and I only got 21% of my bills to pass. Well, I was rolling the snowball up the hill instead of rolling it down the hill. So I'm going to keep doing it.
Rolling it up the hill?
Yeah, I have to. I have to. maybe I'll get more help.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Those 20% are good record, yeah.
Yeah. Good. I had
Senator,
yes.
so I guess going back to like the initial question you had for like what we kind of see like facing the county or whatnot. I'm also the high school football coach for the co-op, so kind of dealing with both Drummond and Phillipsburg schools. I think for the schools, I think that the biggest thing is the funding. Like both schools don't have a lot of money to work with. But also on top of that, they can't get teachers because we have a housing crisis. None of the teachers can afford to buy second homes and doing a VRBO instead of renting it out and putting it back into the community.
Okay, you cut out quite a bit through that last part of that. Could you repeat what the main point of that was?
So, Paul, you kind of froze there for a second.
So
your last sentence didn't come quite through.
Oh, okay. So with the housing, like you can't even get teachers because of out of town money, out of state money coming in and buying up the houses. It kind of started during COVID, and it's still kind of going. But now they just do a VRBO, and it's not available to people of the community to come in and not just school teachers, but just workforce in general.
Yes, and Commissioner, that is happening across the state, but most severely in our rural areas. And we're having to come up with novel ideas in coming up with teacherages. And it's been recommended during the Funding Interim Commission that we start looking at more private fundraisers again. And I think, how many bake sales can we run to come up with a teacherage for each community? That is a bridge a little too far. But we are assessing these matters right now in the School Funding Interim Commission. I do not, with the bent of that commission so far, I don't see that that's going to have a lot of viable fixes for our rural areas. But I think that with some of the legislation that is recommended from that commission, there are a group of us committed to coming up with adjacent bills to actually identify the issues that perplex us and ways that we can fix it and try to extract away from how the big city schools are kind of ruling the roost on how much money gets taken. We have our equity. We have to treat all school districts the same and give the same amount of money for each student involved. We are spending somewhere between $9,500 and $14,000 per year per student for public schools. And for some reason, that is not generating enough money to get all of our schools and their needs addressed. I know that Dean Phillips, Superintendent Phillips?
Yeah, in Drummond.
He comes up to the legislature quite regularly and just says we need more money. Well, that's well and good. We know that. But what we need to be doing is looking at where the money that they already get is going and why it's not landing in our schools. That was the intent of a number of us on the School Funding Interim Commission. I don't think we're going to get there, but it has given us some good guideposts, those extremists on that commission, some good goalposts, I should say, to look at this with a little different viewpoint. But you're right, we're not getting the money where we need it.
know.
One thing Drummond did, their school, they got an intercap loan, bought a house with a duplex, and also that property has a spot for a trailer, so. Schools are gonna have to be creative on, and Phillipsburg's a little different because the even higher price property, so it's, yeah.
We had one of my school districts in Senate District 38 over at Basin. They were shut down last year. They didn't follow the instructions to get re-upped for the next school year. I think they had 2 students in their school.
Wow.
But one of the problems they had with their school was they didn't have any place for the teacher to live. So the community got together and built a teacherage and had, people bring home sinks and toilets and, countertops and just built I haven't been in it. I haven't seen it since it got done, but that's one way to do it. It's unfortunately a huge lift for our smaller communities. And then we worry about the bigger communities and all of the programs that they have initiated in their schools that you scratch your head and wonder, how does that get us to better student achievement? Some of these things we need professionals and paraprofessionals, and we need to have different restrooms, and we need to have different counselors for different things, and we need to have safe places, and we need to have. And it's just snowballing in the wrong direction. So it's again, priority on how we spend our money.
We have a couple questions that you submitted. Go ahead, Jen, sorry.
Hi, good morning. Thank you. I just
Yeah,
want to
the,
touch base really.
Camera has to be on. Your camera has to be on, please.
Oh, sorry, you guys get me with that every time. I just wanted to touch base quickly on the conversation that's happening about housing, especially as it relates to teachers. I'm sure most of you know that the business I own in town is a property management company, and I've been doing that professionally for 13 years. So currently here in Phillipsburg, all I do is long-term rentals. I have 40 long-term rentals in town, and I've definitely given a housing presentation 1 or 2 times around town to the commissioners or to the city. But what I see all the time, and I don't know, maybe there was a comment about getting creative about how to do this, because we do verify employment and we verify income, because we need to make sure that people can comfortably afford a rental, and they're not going to struggle to buy groceries or pay utilities just based on what their amount of rent is. The salaries, the rate of pay that I see for teachers here in Phillipsburg is just, it's shameful. Just to put it bluntly, it's outright shameful. I don't know how anyone would be able to afford to live anywhere in the country based on the salaries that I see the teachers in the Phillipsburg school district being offered. And our rentals are very reasonably priced. They're substantially lower than the market value around the rest of town. And I work very closely with Tom Gates at the school. I'm always trying to help him find housing when they are bringing on teachers or retaining teachers. But I don't know if maybe, someone's really going to dig into funding or spending and what could be figured out. But even if there's maybe something like, if it's not possible to raise a teacher's salary, but maybe somewhere in the budget to offer some sort of housing stipend, I just don't know. It's a really difficult situation. And honestly too, when I'm talking to the school and Tom and some of these people that are coming in to teach, knowing what they're going to be offered or what their salary is, even if it seems like it's more than enough for them to be able to afford one of our rentals, their own personal budget, they say will not allow them to live here. And so I say it all the time. I think there's a lot of people out there living well beyond their means and spending money on things that they shouldn't spend money on, but we don't have any control over that. But yeah, I think part of it is, there's a little bit, housing in Phillipsburg is a little more limited. The prices that are out there are not super reasonable in my opinion. But yeah, the school here has got to be able to pay teachers a little bit more or offer them some other sort of compensation or benefit, because it's shocking when I see those offer letters, what they're getting paid.
Okay, well, thank you. You.
Okay, Jen, you're bringing up the exact topics that we need to be discussing. First and foremost, it is up to the school board, the local school boards. This is a local control issue on how much teachers are paid. And that's why I mentioned earlier, Superintendent Dean Phillips was at the Capitol last session advocating for the STARS Act, which raised the average rate that teachers are paid. But you did bring up an interesting concept while you were talking, in that you're involved with the property management operation here in town. In that, I don't know if anybody's ever approached the Office of Public Instruction to see if they can come up with some way to come up with a grant program for supplementing teacherages or helping offset teachers' rent or home prices. That would be something that the school boards could discuss with OPI, and then OPI can discuss that with the legislators. That could be a possibility along with local community efforts and with school board members, just getting down to the brass tacks that they have to take this head on and advocate for those technical assistance groups to come in and actually do some digging on how the money that they already get for the school systems in Montana actually be diverted to where it's needed instead of growing new programs.
Is OPI coming to the legislature on stuff like this, or is it just a crickets?
It's OPI is coming to the legislature. OPI Superintendent Susie Hedlund is on the School Funding Interim Commission.
Okay.
And we're talking with her outside of the meetings as to ways we can come up. So I've just made a note, grants for housing. So the next time I get to see her, which will be in a couple of weeks, if not sooner. So those are the types of things that we need to start getting creative about. So I'm glad you brought that up. Thank you.
Any other questions, comments? Justine?
Justine Richmond, thank you for coming and sharing information about concerns that you're addressing. I definitely want to let you know my opinion about the sales tax, even though we discussed it during the break a little bit. But one of the things that seems to happen is when new funding is implemented and new taxes are implemented, it's voted on, it's approved, that money doesn't in perpetuity go to what it was promised to go to. I'm very much against a statewide sales tax. Thank you.
One example of that is they, when they did the statewide gambling, they promised that was gonna be the savior for schools, and it looks like the numbers there are just not there. I don't know if this is the gambling program itself so bureaucratic or whatever, but that whole program needs scrapped, in my opinion.
That's,
Dreaming up.
can I add to that? That's
Justine?
exactly what we were talking about, is the lottery gambling money has been diverted at some point in time.
Any other comments?
Ashley Dog, Grady County Treasurer. I just have a couple of questions about one of the bills that passed this last session for schools and changing the base equalization for those schools. Could you speak a little bit to that for us, just how that's going to affect the larger schools versus our smaller schools? I forget what, number.
I know, I'm gonna-
5, 8, I think.
I have a cheat sheet here. Okay. Now, again. It was on the base aid. Now, let's see. Bill 5. We have the Teach Act. The STARS Act. The base amount, so that was Representative David Beatty's House Bill 156. Revises education funding laws by replacing individual school district base levies with countywide base levies. So it takes it from the state and puts it on the county, so your county superintendent. And that money, we've got some money coming in to the general fund that is now going to be going to property taxes used to pay for education funding. And it was signed by the governor. We haven't seen it in practice yet. It goes into effect July 1st of this year.
Is it thought it's gonna bring more money to local, rural schools?
More directly, more money, supposedly to help offset the county expenditures, not expenditures, but the amount directed by the counties. So
Directed by the county to
the schools.
schools.
So I'm not sure how that's gonna work yet. I did vote for it. It sounded really good. And then it was later on that I'm going, wait, I should be looking at these a little bit more closely, because we have so many bills that are increasing money. And I think this one was, it's gonna save on property taxes by diverting more money to schools. But then where's that? I mean, it's smoke and mirrors too much.
So they're not even implementing it?
Not until July 1st.
Oh, okay.
So it'll change the way we levy this next year. It changes essentially on the equalization information for like transportation, right? So it adds additional funds that we have to change the mill levies on, and certain amounts have to go to that, and that.
95 mils then, yeah.
So it essentially changes that whole structure.
So Ashley, may I ask you a question? It's Ashley, right? Yes. May I ask you a question? Do you understand all of that school funding formula?
No, I've been through multiple training.
I've been on education since 2017.
And OPI has been great about trying to get as much information out as possible about this bill. There is a disconnect still.
There is, and everybody's saying, let's just get it going and we'll see how it works. I just told you the same thing. Unfortunately, that's not a good way to operate. But the school, I told you that the property tax calculation is the most complicated in the United States of America. Our school funding is, the complexity on that is right up there in the whole United States, according to the National Tax Foundation out of DC. So thank you for what you're doing. I might have to call you, but feel free to call me and we can commiserate and try to get through it together.
I had one additional question, and it has to do with, we were talking about housing crisis. Granite County, Flathead County, and I think there's a few other counties adjacent to it, all chose to not participate in the home stretch.
The home?
Home stretch. That is where there were grants available for income base for first home buyers. Would that be an option for us to bring back to the table? That we could, in Granite County, have that. We voted to not implement it in Granite County. Can we vote to change our minds?
And I would think,
To address that?
I would also
Or-
run it by, Susie Hedlund's office to see if there's anything in that that might be used as a template. But then it would be up to the county.
Thank you for everything. Appreciate it.
Well, I just want you to know you can call me anytime when you have something that is key, that's relevant, or that I'm doing wrong or could be doing better. Because that's what I'm there for.
Well, thank you so much. Thanks for coming.
Yeah, thank you.
Updates and-
Oh, you bet, thank you.
Alrighty. Okay, so we'll go ahead and move into running just a little behind, but that's fine. Dr. Gary Snyder. Update.
So,
Have a safe trip.
yeah, safe.
Thank you.
travel.
Thank you.
Everything.
Bye-bye.
So, little history here is Clay Branch, our Grant County Attorney. Dr. Snyder was, voted on the, Local Government Study Commission for Granite County. He, did not do his duty. He, during the meetings, all he wanted to talk about was the Constitution, not actually studying government. He then self-appointed himself chair. And so, county commission removed him. Same, before then, Gail Leeper and Robin White had resigned. And so here he has, he brought litigation in state district court at one point, moved to dismiss that. Now he's brought case in federal court claiming 1983 civil rights violations, asking for money to be put back into the budget for the local government study commission. He's also claiming that the folks that were trained, where everyone trained, that was paid for by the county. So NACO Defense is defending the county. They filed a motion to dismiss his complaint, which is with attachments, hundreds of pages, and goes over the rules for federal district court and how many page limit. So the motion to dismiss includes the new complaint be amended to conform with the rules, and that Robin White, Gail Leeper, and Luke from who's on there be dismissed as there's no claims against them. So that's where we're at right now. The county's filed a motion to dismiss, and he's got to respond to that.
Okay, thank you. Any comments? Alrighty, well, we'll go ahead and county claims, we can jump over and jump into one we hear here. We'll just jump into CS.
Yep.
Update. Is it about done?
It is about done. So last time, Michael Cleveland, TCS Northwest, last time we met, I think I told Paul we were shooting for the 18th to be done, which is tomorrow. I'd say we're actually probably about a week and a half behind that schedule for the inside stuff. So I don't know what the actual date is, but not this coming weekend, but the following weekend, and we plan on finishing everything. There's a couple of trim items we had to order, and unfortunately they have to be delayed. So we'll have all the trim on except for those last detail pieces. So we'll just come back and put those on once they're done. But that finishes up everything inside the building. They're currently working on the courthouse floor, and we're hoping to have that done today or tomorrow. The trim. Most of the punch list items are complete. I think we still have a few that got added by the architect that we're working on, but basically the basement level, we punched everything out down there, and this floor is done. We're working on the courtroom floor, and then we'll go up to the top and finish that out last, basically.
So we're talking March 28th, 29th, finishing it up.
That work?
Yeah, we don't have no choice, gotta get it done.
Yeah, we're trying to get out of the courtroom floor, so then everything's just upstairs and we're out of the way. And they're pretty close on that. We've been working on it, not necessarily here, there's been some work going on in the shop too. That's why you can see us every day, but we're moving through it.
I think we'll all be happy with this done and up and running. And I was gonna ask you questions on, when the power surges, what's up with that? We don't want our guy monkeying with the fuses and stuff, that'd be pretty dumb on us.
Sure. So I talked to Larry about that. That whole elevator system is on a surge protector as part of the requirements. So in his opinion, it was something special that happened this time, that fuse blew. He doesn't expect it to happen a lot. And I guess those fuses are relatively sensitive in that elevator.
Do we have extra ones just in case so we don't, that they could come put in and instead of waiting until it does happen, then if we can't?
Right.
I mean, I think we need them to be on hand.
Yeah.
But I don't want to recommend our guy because he's not an elevator specialist.
Sure, I can follow up.
Speaking out of line there.
I would have put that piece.
Yeah, their maintenance guy comes from Helena, so
And
have
yes,
those
they
on
can all
hand.
have some extra stuff just in case this happens,
Yeah.
so we're not waiting to order. Cause you know what else I do, ordering parts is just outrageous anymore, it takes forever.
My question would be, if someone's in the elevator right there, do they have to wait till the fuse comes, or are they stuck in the elevator?
That's the thing, so the elevator system came with a battery backup. And part of that system was that it would recall to the floor and the doors would just open, that's all the battery backup does. At some point, the disconnect on the wall wasn't designed for that system. And since the battery backup isn't required in Montana, a decision was made that we were gonna not hook up the battery backup on that piece. And my understanding was it came from the commissioners. So if that doesn't sound,
I don't ever remember talking about why we wouldn't have a backup.
Yeah.
I'd have to look, do you know when, so we can look in the minutes or something, I don't remember saying that we wouldn't have a backup.
yeah,
That'd be kinda dumb on our part to say, yeah, we don't, you're stuck in there, see you later.
well, you don't have to have it. It sounds like there was gonna be an additional cost to change to the different type of disconnect.
We better look into that and see what,
Yeah.
maybe Scott and Slade or something has something on it easier for us to find. Do you
Yeah.
remember any of that?
Oh, not, but doesn't mean, yeah, it could have, it could have.
Well, if it was brought to our attention, we weren't aware or understood just what it will do and what it won't.
That's exactly where we're at now. So I mean, it's kind of beside the point. It sounds like
Yeah.
even though it's not required in Montana, from the county's perspective, it's important that that comes down and opens.
Yeah.
And lets people off.
Because of the fact, Grant County gets the warm, wet snow and in the spring, this happens.
Yeah.
And it happens.
Okay.
And it doesn't happen just sporadically, it happens.
Yeah, that day it was multiple times
Yeah.
surging and then went off, came back on real quick and then went off again and came back on quick. That day it was doing lots of
Yeah.
surging, so it wasn't.
So that's something that we're gonna have to look at, because not knowing the reason that you'd want a battery backup.
Well, that's exactly
versus-
it.
yeah.
I don't, because obviously we switched teams.
Yes.
So I don't know what was communicated to you guys from our team, which I apologize for. But either way, it sounds like it's something that needs to happen, and that battery backup system is something that can be added at any time. We just need to change the disconnect for the power system on it. I'm not sure how much that piece costs. It sounded like
I
that's.
think the person better look into it, cause
Yeah,
I've
we
never
need to.
remember that being explained to us like that. You think they'd had something already that built in that it would, you know, just for safety.
Even someone stuck in there 3 hours, that'd be
No.
yeah, that'd be bad.
Yeah, I mean, something like that happened and then we'd end up calling the fire department and they tear the doors off the elevator. Yeah, so.
Definitely
Yeah.
gotta look into that.
Yeah,
See what.
not look into it, we're gonna have to
Fix it, right?
amend what we said and put a battery backup in it. I
Yeah.
don't think there's even an option.
We've already started down that process.
Okay.
I just need to figure out, with Otis where the battery backup for it went. Their understanding was it was on site still and I haven't seen it anywhere, so I'm assuming they took it and stored it. So we'll get that system found and brought back and then I gotta work with Larry to figure out what piece we're missing in order to hook that up.
Okay, good.
And this will probably also help with possibly the fuse issue too, because if
Yeah.
there's a battery.
Yeah.
And I'll have Larry go ahead and look at the surge protector, just make sure nothing's wrong with it, but in his opinion, it was just something that was special
Yeah,
or they're
yeah,
super
Yeah.
sensitive and we might need to just check.
yeah, cause I didn't understand, I don't remember making the decision at all that we would forget the battery pack because of the expense.
Did they, so there's carpet on the floor in the, elevator, it was originally gonna be tiled, did the commission decide change that, or what was the?
Yeah, and I talked to Seth and Slade about that too, and it sounds like they were involved with conversation. And we haven't found the documentation on it yet too, but the reason, in their opinion, was to match the hallway, so the carpet in the hallway was all the same finish. And that's how we got there, but yes, it was another one of the design discussions that,
Yeah, I don't remember that either.
yeah.
Yeah,
I don't at all.
I think the tile would last longer.
And they brought them tiles in, we thought that'd make it a little better lighting in there, it's easier to clean, you don't have to drag it back, you know. Sweep it out and swift or whatever, that's all I remember, I don't remember ever going to the carpet.
Yeah, well, I can't say my understanding of it is, but I think that piece, the flooring material, is a decision that was probably made at the very beginning of when we were ordering the elevator, because I'm pretty sure that the way they built the cab around it, you need to allow for that tile. And the back underneath the tile is probably 3/4 of an inch thick, or the carpet
I
tile.
thought for sure we was going with tile, didn't you?
Well, they'd come in with the samples and so forth, so that's what I recall it, but,
I just can't.
but
if
it's on design for it, that's gonna be an.
Yeah, if it's not designed for it, there isn't anything we can do, and it's carpeted now, we'll just have to accept the carpet, right? Cause if the elevator is not designed for tile.
That's
That's your,
my feeling on it.
okay.
I need to. I'll have to get with the design team
Okay.
to find out more details on it, but yeah.
Got their clothing ring.
Was it all?
She thinks it's all common.
She will tell you.
Granite County,
It's not.
Hi, I'd like the commissioners.
Big Joe?
That's in the commission, yeah, you're talking to the commission?
I was wondering if this manganese, tailings here on Brown Street is the county property. This is Delaware, both. I live on, Mackenzie and Brown,
so you're in the city limits?
of course, yes.
Yeah, you call it city.
Oh, she's talking about
Well,
the Platte County
yeah,
property,
The county property, I believe.
yeah, the black tailings there.
The black tailings, the
Oh,
manganese.
okay.
What about it?
Well, and there's always four-wheelers on it, there's always motorcycles on it. And I was wondering if they're supposed to be on it. It kicks the tailings up, and that's manganese. It's gotten a lot more lately, and right now there is a four-wheeler and a motorcycle on it. It's kids playing on the hill.
Issue I see
The
is
sheriff's talked about it, and they don't seem to know what manganese is. And I just
Right
called
on the hill.
several times a year and nothing's ever been done about it. So I don't know if they're supposed to be trespassing or if I should just ignore it. Or
I
what.
will get all the sheriff and there, I tell them that, please stay off of it.
there
Especially
any
liability and that.
Well, the
Needs
magazine
posting.
phone would be thrown around is bad. It's for your health.
Posted, yeah, I thought there was. Is there signs down there, Dale, or not?
No, I don't see any.
Okay.
There used to be a little teeny tiny sign, and I don't see anything
We
anymore.
put
And
up
I was
little
just wondering
signs.
if there could be signs put up or barriers or, I don't know, just something so that it's not, they've already started early this year and I just,
Okay.
Yeah, there is.
most of it has dirt over it, so it's not a big deal, but where they're going and they're digging into the hillside, it just flies that manganese all over the place.
We'll get some signs up and then we'll talk to the sheriff.
I'd appreciate that.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Thanks, Bill.
Bye-bye. Bye.
Might be Jersey Rail down there too, isn't there?
We got a lunch with them. Yeah. Sorry about that. Go ahead.
Oh, that's all right.
I guess the main thing is we'll look into that other stuff and then try to get this closed out, make sure everything's up and going and what we expected. Have a final walkthrough in a couple weeks or whatever it's gonna be, and
Yeah, I think so.
then
I'm still working with Slade on the ADA parking
I
lot.
was just gonna ask about that.
So we went out with you guys out there and looked at it, and I was talking about that retaining wall being 2 foot inside that cut mark out there, and I was wrong. It's actually gonna have to go clear out to that cut mark. Which leaves the alleyway going down through there really narrow, and it's gonna make it hard to make that corner with the car. So I don't know. I gotta take some grades out there and talk with Slade if we need to cut the asphalt down and kind of reshape that so it flattens the lower piece of that out and we don't have to put the retaining wall in.
Mhm.
But we just don't know exactly what that looks like yet. So I haven't actually scheduled that work to be done yet. I was gonna wait until that's all kind of finalized.
Yeah, finalize on that, and then the weather, it's
Yeah.
not been the best to try to get that done, so.
Sure.
I think that's not the biggest concern, is just making sure the elevator and
Yeah.
the stuff in the
Yeah.
courthouse, and we can, delegate time to get to that.
Yeah, for
Don't
sure.
you think, Blaine, is that saying it right? I mean,
Yeah,
it's gotta
that-
get done, but,
I think that's what you guys were
yeah,
wanting, that's not, I mean, definitely needed, but it's not.
it's not, I just soon get all
Yeah.
this stuff done, and then can always get that.
Yeah. I mean, it's functioning right now as is for wheelchair access, but it does have to be wider in order for it to meet current codes. So.
Alrighty, well, that sounds good, I guess then we'll just talk about that battery thing and see what, bring the price and see what. Go from there, we're gonna have to have a backup for sure, I just don't ever remember that.
Yeah.
I'm not saying they didn't bring it up, but I just don't. But it don't matter whether, one way or another, we have to have.
Yeah, we'll just get it straightened out
Okay.
so that I just need to figure out the disconnect piece.
Sounds good, appreciate it, thanks for coming in.
Thanks.
Yes, guys.
Any questions for us, or just pretty much?
Nope, I think I covered them.
Alright,
I'll
thanks.
plan on coming back next week too and just visiting. We're hoping to get most of that trim work done this week, so.
Sounds good.
Alright,
Yeah, looking good.
thanks.
Thank you.
Alright, well, we'll go back and jump onto the county claims. We have them in front of us.
Yeah.
What? Thing I was gonna talk to, Commission about is this drinking fountain out here is horrible. I think that, another one of those like water bottle fillers like downstairs would be great.
We looked into that once, was gonna get one, cause that when we did the one downstairs, this one tastes like.
They're easy to install. I think Don and I can install it, then, I don't know much. I think they have standalone ones, cause it'd have to be one that stands there, I
Yeah.
think, versus there's not a lot
Yeah.
of wall room right there
Yeah.
with the bulletin board. If, that's something I think that should look at,
Yeah.
'cause this
Mhm.
drinking fountain's horrible. If you
Give
taste
me
the
a
water.
bottle of water.
I don't think it's that
It's
expensive.
filtered anymore, is it? Is it still filtered?
I don't know, I haven't looked. I've never seen anybody pull that up.
Yeah.
It's not that cold, and yeah, it tastes,
Remember the old one we used to have that ran all the time?
yeah, the porcelain one, right?
Yep.
Yeah, let's look into it and see what person can do.
I should say, I shouldn't, say Don could do it, but I think it's simple.
Yeah, do you want me to have Don look into it?
Yeah.
One of them or?
Yeah, that'd be cool.
And there'd be a plumber that could help, yeah.
Yeah, I see that, rip cold patch, it went up, it's, for what we got, last year was 13,000. I mean, that's something that we
You
can't.
have to,
back on.
that's the thing, that's the thing that,
That's stuff like that, and then just, yeah, there's,
that's maintenance that you have to have, I mean, that's what you have to look at first before.
we put thousands and thousands of.
Oh, and that's another thing that, why can't the road demolish that house? Why pay
I thought
someone,
we said no.
we did. The,
I thought you meant they did. I was like,
say, what do you mean, said no? That
Not to, we're not,
you're not gonna demolish it?
that we weren't hiring somebody.
Oh, okay, good,
Yeah, no.
okay, cause I
'Cause
I
that
know it was
was-
brought to our attention, but
What do you, how much was it? It was like.
what, 8,000 something,
They
but
did the one in the,
it's the same equipment that we have right there on site, so
yeah, we had dump trucks. and stuff.
they could knock it down to nothing and they've got dump trucks to haul it wherever. So, yeah, I don't think we need to be spending that extra money to knock down a house when it can be done during the time they're repairing whatever they're supposedly repairing that they, never mind.
No, I agree. I don't see why they paid, it cost 6,000 to do the one.
Yeah.
in Drum. So,
Okay, good, cause I know that it was brought to our attention and I didn't know if you guys. Oh, I didn't know if you had talked about it last week or not.
no, we
Okay.
didn't, but that day we said no. 'cause it
Oh,
was too
yeah,
much.
we said no. Well, where's that? Police hoodie thing.
What?
Can we get the road crew police hoodies?
We, supplied her, try that new guy. We buy high visible stuff for him now.
For $494.
Yeah. With the hoodies and shirt, and that. I thought he bought just a bunch of,
So with the signage and the, what did you say when he suggested barriers for that slide stuff? About barriers to keep the motorcycles.
putting up them cement things around them.
Cause you don't want a liability there either if they're running, don't want a liability created if they're
Oh.
running into stuff. That would be one question.
I think I put signs back up. There used to be, yeah, quite a few little small
We
signs.
need big signs.
Yeah, you know, so not good, you know, just.
So would this be something that, Blaine, that we could prosecute? If they're on?
Yeah, if we got the signage up there, then we can. Don't have the signage, then no.
I think, you know, tell the kids learn the first part and just have the sheriff tell me.
Yeah, yeah.
Get caught in there after, you know, they.
You want to call the sheriff?
Well, would you call the school and make an announcement that the kids are supposed to stay off the slide? Or
Or
what's it called?
I think, I called, I think you tell the sheriff and then he can work with the
Yeah,
school.
go
'Cause
to
there's
school and
school
pay.
resource
There's a
officer.
resource now.
Yeah,
They got that resource officer, so they go.
I'll text him right now. That is it manganese tailings or is it?
Magnet, they called them, man, we had it tested and it was all good, and they just said don't hold the door.
They call it black mag, is that what they call it?
Yeah. But we had it, you know, they had it tested and it wasn't, unless you ate it.
Yeah.
I mean, we were gonna try putting it on the road and it wouldn't work, so. Kind of stuck with it.
Yeah. So now we have,
You know, Anaconda's doing some stuff with theirs, the guy should check in to see maybe if there is some kind of cleanup.
cause they're planting grass on it somehow to put in.
Or they
Yeah, put
that.
topsoil.
Then they put topsoil and then they got millions and millions of dollars for that, but yeah, something that a guy could lay down that. Bedding.
Yeah.
And then it moves, so, yeah, it's something guys should
Yeah,
check in with
yeah.
on the.
That's a good idea.
Too bad it couldn't be put out on the roads, you know, but they said no, cause there's a gets in the water.
Yeah.
Are you gonna have Paul put up the signs or?
Yeah, he can do it, it's
Yeah.
his job.
I put them at all the entry.
Yeah.
points, Yeah.
And big one.
Couple,
We're gonna pay a little money for them.
maybe
So they
a couple along there,
Yeah.
right there where they're coming
Yeah.
through. No, Paul, one of the crew guys, they got that pounder and stuff. Yeah, there was old signs, I remember we went down there on a site, they put another sign, and they just disappeared.
It sounds like a dentist drill.
Mhm.
Mhm.
That will remind me too, Brian, on that carpet upstairs, that, you know, it's starting to come up where they squared back together. I forgot about
They'll
that,
need
get
to-
looked, but, I mean, we still got quite a bit when we go through the walk.
Yeah.
Behind them doors, make sure everything's closed back in to trim
Yeah.
and.
You want, I could email them about that, but I think they see it.
I think, yeah, we'll just wait and give them a little, and then, cause when we have that final walkthrough, and then up with, matching up some of the stuff where they painted and that,
Right.
it's just might be a little stuff, but with 1.4 million, it's gotta be.
Yeah.
I just can't remember, D9.
Yeah, I'm still looking into that.
Did you see anything else on the claims, Blanche?
Hmm?
Did you see anything else on the
No,
claims?
I looked through it, it looks,
Pretty much the rest of it
Yeah.
just duty, you know, just. Hey, any
yeah,
comment?
yeah, the only thing that I was the police hoodies, but. And as long as they're like bright,
They're,
they gotta wear,
they're pretty good now. We really, you know, that's safety thing.
yeah.
Uh,
Were we ever gonna get hard hats for them to wear? I thought we were gonna do hard hats.
we were and then we never pursued it, but I think it's coming down the
Yeah.
line, this next safety meeting when Mark from
Yeah.
the state's gonna be here. I think we just better.
Yeah.
Cause it's coming. So. Yes, yeah. They're like 22, white ones are 22 or $23 at. Murdoch, but we can get different, you know, bright orange ones. They have black and white,
Yeah.
but. Guys better start.
So give the black to the bad guys and the white to the good
And then
guys.
they can rotate them.
Yeah. You're a bad guy today.
Well, if you think it's good, I'll entertain a motion for the claims.
I would make a motion that we approve the claims. For, is it still February claims
226.
for 2026?
I'll second it. Any public comment on claims? Justine?
Justine Richmond, what is the house that you were talking about?
It's nothing on the claims.
It was discussed during the claims.
Yeah, what?
Yeah, I was, what I thought is, that's why I was asking them if they hired someone to knock it down, and I said that we didn't need to So it's not on claims to be knocked down. So that's what that was about.
You're talking about the hall.
That little
the
house
hall,
in
the house.
on the road grounds.
It's right there behind the Green County Shopping Mall. It's vacant and it's just,
But we approved them. You just
Okay.
got to sign them. So we approved them all, right?
all in
Okay.
favor?
Aye.
Aye. Okay.
Did you get it? Did you get what I was talking about?
So is it on the
It's a-
county,
It's a
county
little,
property?
Yeah.
it's on the county property and it's a little
Right
tiny,
behind the green thing I just told you, the shop, it's right there.
it's a little tiny old house that sits behind it, just sitting there.
Built in the 1920s.
So it was brought to our attention that, the road supervisor had someone that would tear it down for $8,000 or something, and we said no, but then I heard about it, and so that's what I was asking him.
Cause he was there redoing the water line and then we had to put a new pump in, that
Yeah.
pump was put in 2010. They redid everything, that's why it's $10,000 for all.
Oh, and that was another question on that. Why would it come out of county building? Why would it? And this is, I agree with, why wouldn't it come out of road? Because the road fund is completely separate from the general fund and the county building is in the general fund.
I guess cause we said take it out of the road, or I mean, the county building, I don't know,
So it shouldn't be. It should be, and that's in here. That's,
$10,000 out.
it has to be out of road.
Out of the road.
Sheriff got back to me and said they'd force that.
Okay.
Sign it.
I mean, just saying that the county building is in the general fund. The general fund does not have anything to do with the road fund, anything pertaining to the road area, how buildings and stuff comes out of the road fund.
Okay, even if where it's that pump where the house.
Well, yeah, but it's right on the road. So it's helping the road crew too, right?
Yeah. Well, yeah, cause we have to have it was running, burned up the pumps and the sewer and that, I mean, just steady running, yeah. I don't know.
Said. Out of building.
They could be out of the building. 'Cause
Wasn't it
it's
the
got-
main line?
Huh?
Wasn't it the main line?
But
So it
the,
goes to the houses
It
too.
goes to the house and the two shops.
yeah, it'd be up to the commission to decide that.
I thought for sure it goes in the county building, I think I said county building too, but it's,
I'd have to watch it back, but I think you guys did too. You said it for sure for the house if it was to get tore down. Would be county building, but,
yeah.
I might have to listen to that back.
Okay, well, on that note, I guess, we can go on recess until 12:30.
She wants to change something, but she didn't bring it to me and she said that it was approved.
All right, we're back on and, we've done our interviews and now we'll move ahead and, we'll adjourn for the day. Thank you, everybody.